and welcome back to the Data Debrief series. These are a set of videos to help you dig into the data that's informing the college and brought to you by the Office of Institutional Research and Analytics. I'm Jenna Cullinane Hege, and today we're going to talk about the ACC survey of non-matriculant applicants for fall 2020. Now, what is a non-matriculant applicant? Basically, it's a fancy way of describing the folks who start their application to ACC, maybe even they get a little further down the enrollment funnel, but ultimately are not successful in enrolling in fall 2020 in this case. And what we wanted to do is understand the experiences of these students, understand some of the challenges they may face, and how we can better support them to become successfully enrolled students at ACC. The first thing to note is that we sent this survey to over 15,000 students. So for just the fall 2020 cohort of non-matriculants, that's quite a large population. We surveyed them in May of 2021, and we did have a 2.7 response rate, which is quite low, but with 400 responses, that gives us a reasonable sample size to start drawing some inferences and to assess these outcomes. So we asked things like, what sort of information sources are you finding useful when applying to ACC? And what we learned is that most students, over 50% of students, are doing their own research, and they're heavily relying on the ACC website to inform them. And when they first applied to ACC, the things that really drew them are things like our low-cost tuition, the fields and majors that we offer, and the convenient location. So these are good selling points for us to continue to promote. When we started this survey, we assumed that many of the students who decided not to pick ACC were actually students who picked another college. And so we wanted to know about what attracted you to another college. And while we did hear some responses that said, other colleges had stronger academic programs or I got more financial aid, the biggest response here was other. And what students wrote in, or potential students wrote in, is that mostly they were not attending another institution of higher education. So we wanted to know more about this, and we decided to match the population of students, these non-matriculants, with the National Student Clearinghouse, which allows us to check and see if they're enrolled at another institution of higher education. And the big finding here is that a very large proportion of these students, 76% of students, were not enrolled in any other college in the fall of 2020. This is really important. So some students are deciding what other institution might be a better fit, but this is less than a quarter of students for whom that's the choice. You can see here 76% not attending college, about 10% at a Texas 4-year, 7% at a Texas 2-year. If you applied to ACC and didn't go to any other college, what potential students were telling us, they were saying the COVID-19 pandemic is still a big issue, health concerns, virtual learning, a lack of financial aid, and maybe just it's not the right time for them to be in college. We asked several other questions about their experience with the application, with registration. Generally, people find the time to complete the application reasonable. Registering courses were both affordable and available. And we also asked if you're interested in still coming to ACC. 49% of students said, yeah, I might still try to come later. So what did we learn from this? The big takeaway finding is that 76% of non-matriculants are not attending another college in the fall. This means that these students are deciding, is college for me at all? That's a very different set of messages that they might need to say, yes, there is value to college. This is what the value is. And promoting program-specific employment benefits is one way to do that. We also should continue to promote our low cost and our convenient locations for these students. We also asked about what kind of support, and what came through here is that students need more support through this process, both immediately and longer term. So immediately, we actually asked on the survey, do you want us to reach out to you right now? And 55% of students said, yes, please reach out to me right now to help me finish my application or help with the enrollment process in some way. When we asked about their experiences in the open-ended sections, we did hear many positive comments about support from ACC, but we also heard many comments about negative experiences that students had, like not receiving a call back, not receiving an email back, not sure what to do next, or not receiving a level of service that was really enough for them. So this is something we really need to monitor and think about what processes we can use to improve that student experience through the pipeline. We also know that students generally have concerns about COVID, they have general concerns about finances and paying for college, and we might just want to ask them straight up at the beginning, are you the kind of person who might need some help, some hands-on assistance, so we can position ourselves accordingly? Thanks for tuning in. I hope this was helpful. If you need more information, contact OIRA.